Allow me to be the one, to remind you to protect your heart against instant gratification. Now, hear me out. I am not here to hate on instant gratification. I do believe that it is important for us to listen to our heart sometimes and be able to be like, okay, I want to listen to the pleasures of my heart and I want to feed my heart. But the thing is, you can also feed your heart and gratify yourself without it being nuisible, without it sinking your heart, without it drowning your heart in whatever emotion that is going to follow that instant gratification. And I realized this because by analyzing the way I think, by analyzing the way I do things and the way I indulge into things, the way I engage myself into so many projects and then I kind of feel drowned, is this idea that I do things, I do actions with my heart as only brain. But I want to allow myself to realize that I have multiple brains that basically throughout the day sync together in order for me to have one answer and to go by that. And I believe it's allowing myself to hear all of those brains out and not only focus on one. Because all about me is balance. I need to find balance in a lot of things, in everything really. And starting with how I do my actions, how I make my actions, and that is by syncing my brains. Okay, hear me out now. I was having a conversation with my big brother. Big brother, I love you. I was having a conversation with my brother, and I was talking about my big projects and the things I want to do in the next few weeks and next few months, where I want to travel to and all these places I want to go and everything. And he was very silent as I was talking. And when I stopped talking, he paused for a second. And then he told me, Chloe, why are you talking as if you were already 60 years old? As if you were already 90 years old? Why are you talking as if you had no tomorrow? And when he said that, I was kind of like, I had kind of, do I want to call this the Gen Z reply? I was like kind of like side eye, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm acting like an old person. What do you mean? But the thing is, I realized that, yes, this idea that we always have to be on the hunt for something new, we always have to be on the hunt for something because we might miss the opportunity, is so Gen Z. Or I don't want to say Gen Z because honestly, there are so many Gen Z, Alpha, this, that I get so mixed up. So I'm not going to categorize anything, but it is so people my age and people that are in their 20s and 30s, I believe, and even the age of younger, I feel like we're all on this hunt of looking for instant gratification, looking for things that are going to show us that, show us right away that, wow, we're moving forward and we got a step forward, and we are not able to just sit still and make friends with silence anymore. We're not able to just sit still and allow ourselves to be nothing for a while and realize how actually in being nothing, we are everything, And when he said that, it really brought me back to the basics, as in, how do I jump into my actions? What spirit do I jump into my actions with, And I realized that when I do make a decision to do something, I do it based on my heart, a lot of times at least. I do it based on, what am I feeling right now? Even this idea of discipline, even this idea of work, I'm going to say something so basic, but just simply working out before, when I was supposed to work out, I would be like, do I feel like working out? No, I'm on my period, so I'm not going to work out because I'm on my periods. Or do I feel like, everything was based on what am I feeling right now? And I didn't have this capacity to be like, okay, I'm going to say I need to do this because I want to do this, because this is where I want to go, and I'm going to follow through. And I realized that I was getting very overwhelmed because there were so many things I wanted to do, but I ended up not doing because in that moment I didn't feel like doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that you need to force yourself into doing something that you don't feel like doing in the moment. But I do want to be the one to remind you that you don't have to do anything right now. You can actually take some time to listen to your soul, see what your soul is saying to your heart, and vice versa. See how it matches with whatever's going on in your brain, and have the answer made by concerting all of those brains. And this is kind of where I want to sit for a while, and what I want to remind you, Chloe, is how your heart, your soul, and your brain, they all have brains. Your brain is a brain, your heart has a brain, your soul has a brain. And they work in synchronization in order to allow you to make an action, to do an action. I don't know if this is scientifically proven. This is just at least how I view, how I like this, the way I see myself functioning, and this is just how I translate it. There's maybe no proof, there's maybe nothing that says that scientifically this exists. This maybe doesn't even exist scientifically, but this is just how I feel and how I understand myself. And I realize that it's me. Every single time I want to do an action, it means that I need to concert. I don't even know if concert is English. Concerter. Je dois concerter my heart, my soul, and my brain, and see what comes out of all of those thoughts, all of those feelings, all of those objectives. And not only base an action on my heart, or base an action only on my soul, or base an action only on my brain. The thing is, the brain can get very rational. The soul can get very objective, objective only, and the heart can get very emotional, and not having a balance in these three areas can be really dangerous for you, because you end up overwhelming yourself, because you end up not listening to a part of you, literally. And I believe that it's allowing yourself to have moments where you can just sit down and listen to, okay, what does my soul want when it comes to this? What does my heart want when it comes to this? What does my brain think when it comes to this? And making an answer out of all three, not just one. Because I look back and I realize that there are so many things that I've done, or I've said, or I've thought that maybe I didn't necessarily want to think or do or say, but because in that moment I only referred to my heart, or I only referred to my soul, or I only referred to my brain, it just came out that way. And in the end, it didn't feel that good. But I replied to instant gratification. I replied to that quick and fast and receptive moment, just having a result right away. And so these are maybe a lot of concepts that are kind of getting mixed up together, but it's also just me splattering out my thoughts, and so that I'm able to kind of journal about them maybe in the future, or at least future you, Chloe, maybe you're able to identify what I'm saying through this video with whatever you're going through. But yeah, I just want to be a reminder that instant gratification is not always listening to yourself. And I know that we always hear about YOLO, we always hear about FOMO, we always hear about you need to do what you want to do right now because you'll maybe never have the time to do it and everything. Yes, I'm 22. I want to do that too, and I do that, but I listen. Is it actually aligned with my soul, with my heart, with my brain right now? Or maybe can I wait a bit more and it will maybe be a better experience for me because I will be in that moment. I will have everything in my hands in order to accept it. I will have the place to accept it. I will have made space to accept it. You know, sometimes we're just so eager on having and knowing and being that we just jump into it because we listen to our heart that is eager to want it. Your heart will always be eager to want something that it wants, you know. It will never tell you, oh no, just don't go. No, your heart is a fool, Chloe. Your heart will say, yes, go. You know, your heart is like, vous faites les 400 coups together, you know. You'll be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Your heart will be like, do it. Do it because we want to feel the love. Do it because we want to feel. But in the end, your heart ends up being like, I'm sorry I made you go through this. That is where the soul hops in. That is where the brain hops in. And so, yeah, I just want to remind you, Chloe, that you can do things. You are so young and you can do so many things. But remind yourself that you are so young and that you still have so many years in front of you. So many things to do and opportunities that are going to come up. And yes, maybe you have missed opportunities, but there will be other opportunities in the future. And a closed door only means an open door somewhere else. So yeah, allow yourself the time to listen to all aspects of your mind, your heart, your soul, your brain, your emotions. Even if it takes time, don't hop into something by just concerting your heart. Go through it all and then make the decision. And you will see that you will feel so much more grounded and so much more able to go through this experience and present and have space to accept what this experience is showing you and will teach you as well. So yeah, this was kind of all over the place. Pretty long as well. We're already at 12 minutes. Oh my goodness. I'm going to let you there. Thank you so much for sticking by. I'm going to actually, I told myself that I would be disciplined and finish my thesis. So that is exactly what I'm going to do right now. I wish you so much love and so much discipline and time to think. And don't forget to meditate. Don't forget to talk to yourself and listen to yourself. Sending you lots of love and see you in the next clip. Bye.